Hey, how you doing, man?
Hi, Darren.
Hi, as you know, it's Darren from Long Island Entertainment, and how are you? That's the question of the day.
I'm great. I'm doing great.
And they stick you with the full press day?
This isn't too bad. No, I just did the one that I got off from. I got you, and I got one more.
Okay. 2 down, 1 to go. Sounds good to me.
No, it's great.
Okay, you ready to get this started now?
Sure, anytime you want.
Okay, now, you've played on 21 major albums, if not more. I think that's what I counted. What else is there for Dio to accomplish?
God, there's always something to accomplish, Darren. Always something. We just carry on. I think there's a lot more music in this. In fact, I know there's a lot more music in this band I'm playing in right now. That's what we'll want to do. I think this business is changing so fast now. There are so many more opportunities to do things with it, inside of it, especially from a recording standpoint. And just getting so into digital stuff, that it just blows my head away with what you can do out there. So as far as musically goes, we're just going to carry on. I like to make the next album like a lot harder probably and a lot faster than not a concept album. So for us, year after year, we just keep going.
Okay, and what kind of goals are you holding towards your new album, Magica?
Well, I think that what I wanted to do was to tell people that here's an album that you obviously wanted to hear. I've been asked that for the last 4 or 5 years by people. When are you going to do what you used to do? We like you, but it doesn't sound like the Dio that we, so et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is an album for them. I wanted to do this album for them because our fans have been so loyal all the way through my career anyway, and this is what they wanted. So with a couple of musician changes, we were able to do Magica, and its goal was again to do it for them, to give back something to these people, because I knew that's what they wanted to hear. And then secondarily, of course, I did it for myself too, because it was great to write this album, great to work with these guys.
And it definitely sounds great, but how would you compare it to some of your past couple of releases?
Well, I didn't really care much for the release before this, which was Angry Machines. I didn't care much for that one. The album before that, Strange Highways, I liked quite a bit. In fact, I liked it an awful lot. I thought that was a great album. But it wasn't the kind of album that, again, that either Dio has been known for. It didn't have the aggression. Perhaps the songs weren't quite there. This one, I think, is as good as Holy Diver, Last in Line. I put it right up there with all the really good things that I've taken part in.
And what exactly were you listening to while you were making the album?
Not a thing, Darren.
Not a thing? You don't listen to music?
Not when I'm writing, no.
That's the same exact thing that Malmsteen said, except he doesn't listen to music, period. Would you believe that one?
Well, I mean, I listen to music, but I won't listen to anything that would influence me. I wouldn't listen to much rock music while I'm writing at all. Listen to a lot of classical music. Anything just to remove me from what I'm doing, because what Yngwie is saying to you is the same thing that probably most writers are going to say, who care about what they're going to write, and that is, if I listen to that, somewhere, even though I don't mean to do it, subconsciously, I'm going to rip somebody off, I'm going to take something that they've done, and that's going to turn up, and that's not fair to them, and it doesn't make me feel good either.
You said that your next album you want to do something a lot harder. Now, what exactly do you mean by harder? Because obviously nowadays you have your harder stuff like Limp Bizkit, or you might have your harder stuff which is still in the vein of Judas Priest, or even Pantera.
Well, I always say harder for us is what I mean. Not that we're not hard anyway, I guess we are. But I mean things that are songs a bit more to the point. Just lots of music inside the songs. Not so much this with the last album we did, which was a concept, which had a lot of big things inside of it, slower big things inside of it. It needed to be, because that's what needed to color that and give it all those shades. But for the next album, I just like to do things like that we used to do before, like Stand Up and Shout, or We Rock, or Sabbath Days, Neon Nights. So that kind of thing. Nothing entire the whole album, but some more things like that.
Okay, and your new album's on Spitfire Records. How exactly did you wind up there?
We were signed before to a company called Mayhem. After we had gone from Warner Bros., we signed with Mayhem Records, and Mayhem had a guy named Paul Bebeau, who was running things at Mayhem. Well, Mayhem went under, and Paul began his own label with affiliation with a company in England called Eagle Records as well. And when Paul went there, we liked Paul an awful lot when we were at Mayhem, and so we went along with Paul. So that's how we ended up there.
And how would you compare working with Spitfire to working perhaps with Mayhem or even Warner Brothers?
Well, I mean, that's, you're right away when you're talking Mayhem and Spitfire, you're talking, a totally different ballgame than a Warner Brothers or an EMI or whomever. And the difference, of course, is in distribution. I mean, they have these huge chains of distribution outlets with Warner Brothers that make your product there all the time, and the big the wheels turn and grind if they believe in you. And so, from that perspective, I mean, there really isn't much of a comparison. But the difference is that once you get, if you get caught in those wheels, you just get ground up inside of them and you're gone. The big record companies, they used to, but they don't anymore. They don't have any heart anymore. But Mayhem, Spitfire, Eagle, places like that, they care about their artists. They really do. They're fans. And that's what the big companies used to have inside their ranks, fans. But people like Paul and all the rest of the guys at Spitfire and Eagle over in England, they're all the same. They really love the music. They're music guys, and those are the people I like to be around.
You mentioned before you're into this whole digital world, am I right?
Yes.
So what are you feeling necessarily on Napster, and how much are you using the internet nowadays?
Well, unfortunately, I've been on the road for like about the last 6 months, and I haven't had much time to do much internet-wise. I just converted my studio into a total digital studio, so I'm really chucked into that at the moment. But I think the internet always has been amazing, absolutely amazing. I know the radio station KNAC, that used to be like the big rock station here in Los Angeles, went under 2 or 3 years ago. No, I think they're the number one internet station for rock. And that took hardly no time at all for it to happen. And that's the amazing and sometimes frightening thing about it, but everything's moving so damn fast out there.
And what about Napster? What are your feelings on it?
Well, I think of course it was wrong. It was wrong. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're Metallica, who are making $15 billion a day, or the Trees, who are making, absolutely nothing and are painting houses. You're stealing things from people. That's their livelihood. I mean, you don't walk into someone's home and say, well, I like that little statue. Thank you. I'll take it away with me. It's wrong. It's just totally wrong. But I think that its beauty was that it woke up the record companies and made them start realizing that they've got to deal with what's out there now, which is the amazing way that your product can be just taken away from you. So I think that was very, very positive. But, all in all, black and white, it was wrong.
And upcoming now, to move on to the touring front, you've got your Triple Bill tour that's going to be taking over the U.S. Now, what exactly can we be expecting from the Dio, Doro, and Malmsteen tour?
God, I wish I could answer that question, man.
Well, take your time if you want to formulate a response.
No, it's all right. Well, I think it's interesting again because once again we're in the same genre of people in these three bands. With Doro, you get someone who's not terribly well known here, who's trying to make that happen for herself and has a great track record of her own in Europe, especially in Germany where she's from. So she's always interesting and entertaining. With Yngwie, you get Yngwie. You really don't have to say much more than that, really, do you? With Yngwie, you're going to get great guitar player, and he'll give everything he's got with what he does, and love himself in the process as well. With us, you get all of Magica. You get all the songs that people have wanted to hear, the things that we must do from the past as well. So altogether, it should be, as they say in the newspapers, a great musical evening.
A great musical evening. And finally, Ronnie, any last words for the kids?
God, just that, like I always say to them, thanks for being there for me all these years. And, I tried to do something for you this time, and that's what Magica is. Magica, the album and the tour, is for you guys. Thanks.
Okay, that does it completely for my questions. I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor, if you don't mind. Could you possibly say, "Hi, this is Ronnie James Dio, and you have reached Darren's voicemail. Please leave a message." Can you say something along those lines?
Sure.
Sure. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, this is Ronnie James Dio. Darren can't come to the phone right now. I've placed him in hell, but he will get back to you. Bye.
That was great. That was great. I'm going to be at the Roseland show, which I believe is December 9th. I can't wait for it, and I think we're all excited for it in New York. So
Thanks a lot, Darren.
So thanks. Congratulations on a great new record, a forthcoming great tour, and you're the man, Ronnie.
Thanks, dude.
Okay, take care.
Take care, Darren.
Bye.
Paltrocast.